Every year brings new innovation in telescope design. Some improve upon the timeless instruments that we have come to love today, while others completely transform the way beginners and experts alike explore the night sky. With so many options out there, finding the right one can be more than overwhelming. Our team here at High Point has set out to make that choice a little bit easier. Drawing from years of personal experience, customer insight, and extensive product testing, we are excited to bring to you our picks of the best visual telescopes, smart telescopes, and astrophotography telescopes of 2025. As always, there's sections and chapters in the timeline below, so feel free to jump around at your own pace. I'm Tegan with High Point. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to start off this video with best visual telescopes. Now, when our team came up with this list of best visual telescopes of 2025, we asked ourselves one question. What is the common feature that garners the best experience from customers when they go to purchase their first telescope, or perhaps upgrade from one that they've owned in their youth? And our team inevitably came up with 8 inches of aperture as that feature. Now, there are larger telescopes, and of course there are smaller ones as well, but an 8-inch aperture telescope really opens the door to viewing several deep sky objects, as well as some incredible lunar and planetary views. It also opens the door for a unique shared experience amongst friends and family. And it's with that experience that we feel visual telescopes is a great place to start for this video. So without further ado, let us introduce to you the best computerized telescope of 2025, the Celestron NexStar 8SE. Many describe the NexStar 8SE as the epitome of computerized telescopes. Its large 8-inch mirror opens up access to deep sky objects and fantastic planetary and lunar detail that smaller telescopes simply can't match. Mounted on an alt-ass mount and tripod, which contains more objects than anyone will ever need, you will never be short of something to look at through this telescope. The built-in hand controller gives you a tactile feeling with a soft orange glow, helping you maintain your night vision, and the smooth operation of the focuser is precise and simple to use. This telescope is so well received by the community that there are a plethora of accessories offered both from Celestron and others alike, such as portable power tanks, eyepiece kits, diagonals, and much more. So at its core, the Celestron NexStar 8SE is a 2032mm f10 telephoto lens that sits on top of a highly sophisticated yet simple to use alt-azimuth mount, which compensates for the rotation of the Earth, bringing you the night sky like never before. With some version of the NexStar 8-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope having been around for many years, we expect Celestron to continue paving the way for customers to experience an 8-inch go-to telescope the right way. So if the Celestron NexStar 8SE is the best computerized telescope of 2025, then the Apertura AD8 is the best overall telescope of 2025. The AD8 is what we like to call a lifetime telescope, and it's one that will grow and evolve with you as you progress through your amateur astronomy journey. Sitting at that top spot for best overall telescope, the AD8 also takes the title best price per inch of aperture. Simply put, this telescope is going to give you the most enjoyment and performance for the price than any other telescope on this list. With a fast 8-inch highly reflective mirror, an adjustable balance system, and a range of upgradable features and accessories, this Dobsonian immerses you in the night sky before you even realize it. Star hopping from bright star to find your target is made easier than ever with the precision roller bearings and the tension knobs, and viewing with the AD8 gives you a long-lasting and almost permanent knowledge of the night sky that you simply don't get when using a go-to telescope. The optical right-angle finder scope makes it easy to locate those faint galaxies and star clusters, while the dual-speed 10:1 ratio focuser helps you pull out every ounce of detail from the planets and the lunar surface. And without the need for power, you are ready to start viewing on your first clear night out. Out of the box, you're ready to go with a 2-inch SuperView 30mm eyepiece for deep sky objects and an 1.25-inch 9mm eyepiece for planetary and lunar viewing. With the AD8, there are no electronics necessary to enjoy the night sky. It's just you, your telescope, and the cosmos, and over time this instrument becomes a lifelong companion on your journey through the stars, and that is why the Apertura AD8 is the best overall visual telescope of 2025. Alright, so that concludes our list of best visual telescopes of 2025. Now, if these telescopes like the Celestron NexStar 8SE and the Apertura AD8 got us here in the first place, then smart telescopes is the inevitable next step. Now, these smart telescopes consist of a lens or an optic, an internal digital camera, a fully automated go-to system, as well as a mini computer that drives the whole smart telescope experience. While visual telescopes are here to stay and their permanence represents the roots of amateur visual astronomy, then smart telescopes must represent the intersection between visual astronomy and astrophotography through the use of technology. So without further ado, let us introduce to you the best smart telescopes of 2025, starting with the category, the best all-in-one smart telescope, and that title belongs to the ZWO Seestar S50. The Seestar S50 packs all the technology you need into a compact design which allows you to photograph your favorite deep space objects all from your smartphone. It features a 50mm triplet lens for sharp stars and excellent color correction, as well as a 250mm focal length that's perfect for framing medium-sized deep space objects. Inside, the highly sensitive Sony IMX462 sensor drives 3 automated imaging modes: the deep space or stargazing mode for astrophotography, the solar system mode for lunar and solar photography, and even a scenery mode for daytime photography. Using the integrated Sky Atlas, you can pan across the night sky and select an object in real time, or you can choose from the huge database of popular targets and watch as the Seestar automatically centers, tracks, and stacks your images to reveal the rich color and detail hidden beyond the limits of the naked eye. Thanks to its internal rechargeable lithium-ion battery, the Seestar S50 allows for several hours of imaging and exploration, earning its place as the best all-in-one smart telescope of 2025. Alright, so we move on to our second category, the most elegant smart telescope of 2025, and that belongs to the Vaonis Vespera Pro. There is certainly an elegance to the latest model of the Vaonis Vespera Pro. Of all smart telescopes on this list, the Vespera is the most technologically advanced, giving you a refined, a sophisticated, and highly capable smart telescope experience. Featuring a 50mm quadruplet lens, a 250mm focal length, and a 12.5 megapixel IMX676 sensor, this telescope delivers some of the most detailed and breathtaking images in our smart telescope category. Like all other smart telescopes on this list, the Vespera captures and stacks your photos in real time, but where it differs is within the Covalens and Perseverance technologies. Accessible directly through the app, these features allow you to create stunning 50 megapixel astromosaics and even continue your imaging sessions across multiple nights. The Singularity app is intuitive, simple to use, and has some other incredible features like your local weather forecast, several different types of object catalogs to browse, as well as a Plan My Night feature for those who want to hop from deep sky object to deep sky object on a journey across the night sky. This feature-rich app, the high-resolution imaging capabilities, and the super sleek design earns this smart telescope the most elegant smart telescope of 2025. Next up, we have the largest and most powerful smart telescope on our list, and it earns the title Best Overall Smart Telescope of 2025, and it belongs to the Celestron Origin Mark II. At its core, the Origin utilizes a 6-inch RASA optical tube with an incredibly fast f2.2 focal ratio, giving you an unmatched light gathering capability and incredible imaging speed. Paired with the Sony Starvis 2 IMX678 sensor, this 8.4 megapixel camera delivers beautifully detailed images. Its small 2-micron pixels pair perfectly with the RASA's 335mm focal length, allowing you to capture fine structure and subtle details that smaller smart telescopes simply can't resolve. The NexStar Evolution mount that supports the Origin has been a trusted favorite in the astronomy community for years, known for its precision tracking, internal rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and reliable go-to capabilities. Celestron's Origin app takes the smart telescope experience even further, offering you an immersive and interactive way to explore the cosmos. Powered by a simulation curriculum, the Sky Atlas is intuitive and fun. Simply point your phone at the sky and tap on any visible target to start your imaging session. During an astronomy outreach event, we put the first generation of Celestron Origin to the test, and from personal experience, it's really something special to watch your friends and family get excited about astronomy. Seeing them pass the smartphone around, each person choosing their own target, whether it be a comet, a galaxy, or the moon, and watching as their favorite objects come to life in real time was unforgettable. And it's moments like these that remind you just how effortlessly this telescope inspires curiosity. The Celestron Origin Mark II is the most powerful and most advanced smart telescope to date, and it bridges the gap between visual astronomy and dedicated astrophotography, giving it the title Best Overall Smart Telescope of 2025. Alright, if visual telescopes brought us out under the night sky, and smart telescopes opened up the door for the next generation of stargazers by combining technology and shared experience, then maybe we could say that dedicated astrophotography represents what smart telescopes ultimately strive for, the pursuit of the highest image quality. Now, despite the quality of smart telescopes, they simply can't hold a candle to what a dedicated astrophotography rig is truly capable of. So with that, we're going to start off our list of best astrophotography telescopes of 2025, the ones that are designed to take the most breathtaking photos of the night sky. And we're starting this list off with the best multifaceted refractor, the Askar SQA55. The Askar SQA55 is a dual-purpose telescope and telephoto lens. With its 250mm focal length, it is designed for both wide-field astrophotography and backyard nature photography. This scope consists of a thoughtful design and is packed full of some awesome features that really give it a well-deserved place on this list. It consists of 5 lens elements for excellent color correction, sharpness, and full-frame compatibility, all in a no-fuss Petzval design where worrying about spacing is a thing of the past. It features both a coarse and fine helical focuser that feel precise and responsive. It comes with a Vixen-style dovetail for those planning to dedicate the scope to their astrophotography rig, as well as a quick-release adapter that makes it easy to switch from your photographic tripod to handheld shooting. The SQA55 really sets itself apart from other attempts at a telescope/telephoto lens by the introduction of an aperture ring. This aperture ring allows you to stop down from f4.8 to f22 for complete creative control over your photography. For its versatility, its design, and its ability to capture sweeping images of the largest deep sky objects, the Askar SQA55 earns its place as our best multifaceted refractor of 2025. Next on our list, earning the title as the best full-frame corrected refractor, is of course the Apertura APO90. With a 90mm objective, a 540mm focal length, this f6 triplet refractor delivers some of the sharpest stars across a full-frame camera that we have ever tested. This scope is the largest and most powerful scope of the Apertura family, and it collects over 3 times as much light as a smaller 50mm refractor. The APO90 is ideal for deep space imaging. With the included 1x field flattener, the standard 55mm of spacing is all you need to achieve an incredibly flat field with full-frame sensors. This scope comes packed with quality features like a robust dual-speed 10:1 EAF-ready focuser, a camera rotator for precise framing, as well as beautifully CNC machined blue anodized components. Pair this with the optional Apertura 0.8 reducer for a fast f4.8 focal ratio. If you're anything like me and tend to focus a bit too much on the quality of your stars around the edges of your field of view, then this is the scope for you, and it's why it's earned the top spot on our best full-frame corrected refractor of 2025. So moving on from the APO90, imagine that there was a telescope that, because of its optical design, could collect light 20 times the speed of an identically sized telescope of a different design. So now's the time to introduce to you the Celestron 8-inch RASA, the best telescope for ultra-fast astrophotography. So to put this in perspective, what the Celestron RASA collects in about 30 seconds is similar to what an SCT at f10 would collect in about 10 minutes. In practical terms, what you could capture in a single night would take you several nights with a traditional SCT. The combination of lens groups, Schmidt corrector plate, primary mirror, and Celestron's patented Starbright XLT coatings all work together to produce exceptional detail across your images. With a 22mm corrected imaging circle, this scope pairs perfectly with sensors up to micro four thirds. These scopes are compact, and with a focal length of 400mm, you get that wide immersive field of view that you would with a wide field refractor, but the resolving power of a larger 8-inch telescope. With the RASA 8, a 20-second exposure with your favorite one-shot color camera may be all you need to capture Orion's Nebula or the Great Andromeda Galaxy, and that is why it's earned the title Best Telescope for Ultra-Fast Astrophotography. Alright, so next on our list is the category Best Long Focal Length Telescope for Astrophotography, and it belongs to the Celestron 11-inch Edge HD. So first and foremost, an 11-inch aperture telescope is the largest telescope on our list by a considerable margin, and it has the ability to capture an unprecedented amount of detail in small deep sky objects simply due to its sheer size and reach. Celestron's incredible Edge HD optics provide an extremely flat imaging plane from corner to corner on a full-frame sensor by way of patented corrector lenses built directly into the telescope's rear assembly. The massive 11-inch Edge HD comes standard with integrated mirror locks as well as a built-in ventilation system that reduces thermals within the optical tube assembly. Now, we know this is a list of astrophotography telescopes, but we feel compelled to mention just how incredible visual astronomy and planetary photography are through a scope of this size. The views are simply stunning, and Celestron knows this, so they've included a beautiful 2-inch 23mm luminous eyepiece, a visual diagonal, as well as a straight-through finder scope so you can be out viewing on your first night out. With the Celestron 11-inch Edge HD, you aren't limited to photographing the cosmos, as you can also view them in the highest degree possible with your naked eye. Alright everyone, so we have reached the last category on our list, and that is Best Overall Astrophotography Telescope of 2025. And this one is our favorite because it strikes the perfect balance between price, performance, and design. And well, maybe we should let this one speak for itself. Let us introduce to you the Apertura CarbonStar 200mm Imaging Newtonian. So your traditional 8-inch imaging Newtonian, it's large enough to capture an eye-opening amount of detail, but light enough to work on a variety of mid-range mounts. The CarbonStar 200mm imaging Newtonian takes this classic design and implements several upgrades that earn it the title Best Overall Telescope for Astrophotography. So without further ado, let's take a look. Keeping this scope under a mere 16 pounds is the impressive black carbon fiber body that also doubles as protection against drops in temperature, keeping focus and collimation on point throughout the night. Providing a hassle-free collimation experience is the CNC machine's secondary mirror housing, which prevents any flexing or twisting when collimating. This in itself is arguably one of the best upgrades to the traditional Newtonian design on the market today. In addition, the upgraded rack and pinion dual-speed 10:1 ratio focuser is EAF ready and will hold your heaviest APS-C imaging trains with ease, while the 13 internal knife-edge baffles reduce stray light and improve contrast in your images. Optically speaking, it's optimized for APS-C size sensors thanks to an increase in the secondary mirror size for improved field illumination. When paired with the dedicated optional coma corrector, the CarbonStar 200 delivers premium imaging performance in a clean, lightweight package. The images taken through this scope show amazingly crisp details and pinpoint stars, and that, coupled with the incredible features, earned this scope the title Best Overall Astrophotography Telescope of 2025. So that concludes our video on the best telescopes of 2025. We started with the visual telescopes, the grassroots of amateur astronomy. Then we moved to smart telescopes, the ones that bridge the gap between visual telescopes and deep space astrophotography. And then of course we discussed the best telescopes for astrophotography, and those are the ones for those who want to take the most stunning photos of the night sky and deep space objects. Well, if you have any questions at all, please let us know in the comments. If you'd like to know more about all of these telescopes on our list, take a look in the link in the description. It takes you directly to an article on the High Point Scientific webpage written by the High Point Scientific team themselves. Again, I am Tegan. Thank you so much for tuning in, and clear skies.